Hi. CJ and I are here today because you have been asking questions about what's going on with the staffing situation in our church and another issue that we'll talk about in just a moment. But you probably have seen some changes in our staff. You know that Don Dilly has retired in order to take care of Cindy and be a good husband to her. Debbie Emke is going to be retiring first of the year. I've announced my retirement plans for the spring. And so we've begun to make a few changes in the way we staff our church. They're kind of interesting. The idea has been developed by CJ and myself and our personnel committee. And we'd like to tell you what's going on. And maybe the best way to do it is to say that, I'm still going to be the pastor until springtime. CJ is our associate pastor, but after that, just about everybody has some little quirk or change going on in their job description. So I'm going to ask CJ to help us out here. Tell us about Karen.
Karen. Okay, so Karen currently is in charge of youth ministries, and that's going to continue. So she's going to continue on. She has got a assistant that's going to be coming along, a volunteer assistant that's going to come and help her, and that will be made officially later. Officially. She'll also be taking on some pastoral care responsibilities, and that's going to look like building a team of people that are already doing a really great job of doing pastoral care, partnering with the deacons a little bit more and helping them in what they're doing, kind of coordinate our efforts, both staff, deacons, and congregation at large for doing pastoral care. So she's just going to add to her position a little bit.
Okay, what about Callie Williamson, our children's director?
Callie Williamson is going to be doing exactly what Callie Williamson has been doing. So she's got a team of leaders that she works with. They're obviously changing how they do them in this COVID time, but it looks exactly like what it looks like right now for the foreseeable future.
We can look forward to children's ministry hopefully resuming around October 1st, right around in
That's
there.
the plan. Yeah, it's again we're in this time phrase where we're prepping like phase, plan A, B, C, D, and to see what happens kind of as schools open or don't open or what happens. So we're planning for all of it. We are trying to figure out a way to make it work. We're being very innovative in that field.
And what about Leslie Fetters, our connections director?
She's our hospitality person, connections person currently, and she sends out the newsletter. She gets the greeters on Sunday mornings and the ushers and many other things, cookie crew and all of that. She is going to be moving into Debbie Emke's position, which is being moved to a half-time position that focuses solely on finances. So she'll be paying all our bills and cutting checks for staff and just all the basic financial aspects of this job. So that will be her job starting in January officially when Debbie retires. But until that time, she'll be kind of learning the ropes and doing that. And so she'll be stepping out of the role of hospitality, which provides an opening for...
Yeah, so who's going to do that?
Good question. Okay, so we brought on a volunteer staff person. Candace Brady is going to be coming in, and you've probably seen it on Facebook, that she's going to be doing connections ministry, and she's going to be doing many of the things that Leslie has done, but some of those things have been split up, so she'll be doing a lot of connections with people. So she'll be doing greeters and whatnot like that, but she'll also be really being intentional about connecting with leaders and trying to make sure new people are connected to the life of this church. And so she's going to be helping with calendar and all of that. And that, I want to be clear, this is a volunteer staff position. So we're not, yes, we hired her, but she's not receiving pay, but we do treat her like a staff member in every other way.
And there's another volunteer position that I read about. Tell us about that.
Okay, so Tanya Hawkins, who's been doing this already, is going to be stepping into the cafe lead role. She's also a volunteer staff position. Tanya volunteers all over the place. She actually works as a preschool director downstairs in our teacher, not director. But she's going to be doing the cafe, and so she'll be running the where we used to buy snacks and stuff on Sunday mornings, and where you get coffee. She'll be running all of that, and the team that does that, and it's kind of in connection with what she's already doing, and so she's pulling a lot of the food-related responsibilities off Leslie's position, and she's taking that on. So that's another volunteer staff position. So we're not paying anybody. In fact, throughout this whole process, we're actually saving money and kind of streamlining things a little bit. We're not actually hiring anybody.
So we're moving pieces all over the chessboard, but we're not adding any pieces.
In fact, yes, correct. Well, we're adding pieces. We're just not paying those pieces.
Volunteer.
Well, they're. I love the attitude of these people. Like they have this. For instance, she won't want me to talk about it, but Sam Wilkinson, which we'll talk about in a minute, is taking on a lot of responsibilities for Dawn's position. But she's volunteering in that position, has been for a while now, until we can actually afford to pay her in the fall sometime.
So let's talk about music and worship, Don's position.
Okay.
How are we handling that?
To replace Dawn, it takes 3 people. So we're Leah, Andrea, and Sam. All 3 of them will be doing Dawn's job essentially in different aspects of it. Leah has been doing tech for a long time, but she is going to be increasing her hours, just a few hours here and there, to be able to do a lot more of the updating and tech stuff and lighting and sound and all that she does there. Andrea is doing worship leading, which you guys have been seeing, and she's been doing it for a while now. Sam is in that position. Half of her position is being a creative director, and so she's helping with dramas, worship planning, videos. Thank goodness, so I don't have to do them anymore. And then so many other things in that arena. Sam's also picking up, because we're moving the administrator job to a half-time position that's only finances. There's the graphics and the bulletins and the newsletter that's left kind of hanging, and Sam is picking that up as a communications director. She'll be doing that as well. Does that make sense? So
yeah,
far.
I'm
A lot
trying
of
to
moving
keep all
pieces.
this straight in my head.
I need to draw a picture, I think.
Yeah, we
Graph, chart.
we need a chart.
Yes, maybe I'll make a chart.
Colleen Fillingham is going to continue as our
Yep, absolutely.
Adventureland preschool director.
Yep.
Mark's still going to be our custodian,
Yep.
but he has a volunteer helper that works with him.
Correct. Charles Green is here almost every day of the week. He's retired and he's a volunteer staff member, and he's all about helping Mark out and doing lots of different things and streamlining Mark's processes so we can get a lot more of the stuff done around the church that needs to get done. So he's another volunteer staff person.
So the end result of all of this, we're going to save some money.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of money, and we're going to cover all the bases.
Yep.
We're not going to lose any staff members who aren't retiring.
Correct.
It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win situation.
It is. It's really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
it's playing into people's gifts and moving pieces where they feel called and where they feel gifted, and so it's a really, really cool position, and it creates a space in which we can start developing departments. So as we grow as a church in the future, that we can hire staff into individual departments like children's ministry and whatnot, and go on, and worship ministry and things like that. And so it kind of, instead of being growing from a smaller church to a larger church, this is more of a larger church model to set us up for the future. So that's kind of exciting.
Great.
Yeah, my turn to ask you questions. So you forgot somebody. So what happens when you leave? Like, how does that whole process happen? That's a lot of. You've been getting a lot of the staffing questions. I've been getting a lot of, where's John going? What's going on? How's that all work?
Okay. Well, first of all, as most of you know, I'm planning to retire sometime in the spring. The date is not set yet, but it will be when we have more information. And the way this works is coming up real quickly here. The session has adopted a process for replacing the senior pastor. Okay, and it requires the congregation to have what we call a pastor nominating committee. That committee is going to consist of 2 members of session, 2 members of the board of deacons, and 5 members of the church who will be elected by the congregation at a special meeting on August 26th, right after our tailgate worship service, Sunday, August 26th. We'd love to have you be here for that. You will be able to vote for those 5 representatives, and we're working on a way to allow people who can't be here to vote from home. So we will let you know more about that soon. Once the Pastor Nominating Committee has been elected, they will begin to meet, probably weekly, and they will prayerfully discern who they would like to recommend to the congregation as our next pastor. Now, any pastor within our denomination, the ECO denomination, is eligible to be considered by the Pastor Nominating Committee. And that is totally up to them, who they will interview or how many or whatever. It's their decision. And then once they're finished prayerfully discerning and interviewing and praying and all this kind of thing, they will bring back a recommendation to the congregation of the one person that they feel they have been led to by God to lead our church into the future. So that'll come up. I suspect it'll be, after the first of the year, because it'll take some time for them to get up and running. They have to coordinate with our presbytery and then do their due diligence as they prayerfully search for the next pastor. So it could be anybody who's ordained in the ECO denomination. We'll leave that up to God.
Sounds good.
Once that person is elected by the congregation, then I'll announce the date of my resignation. Right after I get out of here, you'll be able to install a new pastor that will lead us into the great new adventure that is ahead, an adventure of faith. Does that cover most of the
I think
bases?
so. I think that's great. Like I said, if you have any more questions that we didn't cover here, feel free to add them to the bottom of this link. Like I said, there's a lot of little changes that are happening, and I think if we were meeting in person more regularly on Wednesdays and Sundays like we used to, we would understand what's going on, but it's hard to communicate this stuff, so we're trying to do the best we can to communicate it. So if you have a question, post it on this link, and we'll get on and answer it for you. So I think that's it we have for now, and so we'll see you on the 26th.
Yeah, well, see you on the 26th at the meeting, and I hope we will see you
23rd.
next Sunday at 10 a.m. here at the church. Plenty of room for more people, and great experience for those who are able to come.
It's the 23rd, not the 26th.
The 23rd?
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. It's at some point. Be here on the 23rd. It's a Sunday.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The 23rd.
All right.
That's right, because the 16th is the motorcycle rally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the 23rd is the congregational special meeting. The 23rd. Let me announce. The meeting of the congregation to elect a pastor nominating committee will be held on August 23rd, 2020 at 11 a.m.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
See you guys later.